people sometimes definitely don't see themselves connecting in way of being a part of the government and don't want to be a part of the government's business. They just want to live, breathe, and don't want that, but they want the government to actually do the work that they're called to do and stuff like that. So definitely thinking about different ways of how to tackle those those community citizens who are like shy away, to include them into those conversations for sure.
Yeah. No, and
Yeah, no, go
yeah.
ahead, sorry.
No, no, and like I just want to like add on to there. Like I think this is um we really need to explore what is government 2.0. Oh, no, I'll say government
Mm,
3.0. Because like we fail to realize that, let's say government 1.0 was like colonial governments. So back in the
mm,
day when it was pretty messed up.
mm,
And government 2.0 is currently where we're living, where we're living in this post World War II era, and we're
mhm,
dealing with a lot of gunk around civil rights and
yeah,
advancements and innovation, and we quickly but that's when shoo. And what we're realizing now, I always describe it as this, like we're operating on iOS 9 when we should be on iOS 16 when it comes to
yeah,
government. And
mhm,
to order to meet the needs, the changing needs and the demands that folks need, we really need to be having larger conversations around transitioning governments to be able to go into this 3.0 era. Because that's what we need to do. We need to explore the new ways of machinery of government.
yeah. I totally agree. I totally agree. I want to shift into the conversation about affordable housing. Affordable
Yeah.
housing is definitely on everyone's portfolio, everyone's topic. And I had a great conversation with Meridian this week, learning more about their goals to affordable housing and how they want to continue to support communities who are wanting to do a lot of like um different like building structures, whether it's what do you call it, pods, housing. There's lots of land in Nova Scotia for sure, for affordable housing to be developed. No one wants to move out into faraway communities because there's a commute, and then infrastructure means that there needs to be a transportation way of how we connect those dots for people to get there. Affordable housing is growing issue across the region, across the country. Like, how would you tackle this issue in Western specifically? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like affordable housing is such uh,
Mm-hmm.
a complex issue. I think the first thing to talk about affordable housing, we need to have a conversation around what is housing, because
Mm,
if you talk to if you talk to one person about affordable housing, you talk to another person is a different perspective. So
right.
when you talk about affordable housing, it's actually hard to actually solve the problem because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many as my nana would say, there's so many cooks in the kitchen that we're unable to really dive down to figure out what we really need to do. So I'll just like
Right.
preface this on that. And then also, we need to realize that when it comes to the municipality jurisdiction, when it comes to affordable housing, it's very hard to convince councils
Mm-hmm.
to, say no to certain type of, development fees and stuff like that, because that's how municipalities make money.
Yeah.
Like municipalities don't have the ability to create multiple streams of taxes. It's the tax base, so that's property and commercial taxes
Mm-hmm.
or service fees. So
Yeah.
when you only have limited amount of resources to raise capital, it's hard for you to have conversations around affordable housing. So I like to preface that. And then adding on to it, we do have a lot of land, but not every land is good land to build on. Like, for example,
Yeah.
plants, we have a lot of gypsum. So where people see, there's a sea of like free land to build on, me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I would recommend you not build on it because tomorrow may be a sinkhole. So we
Yeah.
also need to take into consideration, especially in Nova Scotia, that our because of the formation of the geography, a lot of our land isn't suitable. So whether that's low lining, so like a lot of our communities are low lining. For example, I live in a floodplain. But then you also have different places where it's predominantly gypsum. So gypsum is a very porous stone. So we need to also take into that consideration. And then you have to look at the land use bylaws and stuff like that. Where my standpoint is encouraging our municipality to create a plan around this is these are the areas that we're comfortable of designating of mixed income affordable housing. Because an issue that we're seeing now, especially within municipalities, is we're saying, okay, so that's affordable housing over there, and we're just going to put everyone who needs affordable housing over there, and we're creating another level of structured discrimination based on socioeconomics. So my approach is encouraging folks to look at affordable housing through a mixed income approach where folks who can afford, you pay your fair share so that folks can feel connected with community and have place.